global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Until we take that which belongs to us as a nation, Nigeria will remain the same and the status quo won't change. There won't be a change in status quo to still be the same. We'll be grumbling and be screaming, but it will still remain the same. As Imo youth have taken the bulls by the horns by doing the needful. But before we go into the news proper and further analysis, we would like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. A sociocultural youth group in Imo State called Orluzurumee Youth Assembly (OYA) has approached the State High Court Owerri, demanding the immediate recovery of the Eastern Palm University Ogboko, alleged converted to personal property from former Governor Rochas Okorocha. The case was with suit HOW/585/2020 dated August the 18th, 2020, which was instituted by one Celestine Uzoanakwe on behalf of himself and other landowners of the university, has been fixed for hearing on September 7, 2020. The plaintiff, who joined the state governor, Uzodinma, as the first defendant, and others in the suit also asked the court to set aside and nullify any agreement of whatsoever nature regarding the ownership of the institution. The suit further asked for an order of the court directing the first defendant, Uzodinma, to immediately take over the management, control, and running of the Eastern Palm University Ogboko for and on behalf of the people of Imo State. Shedding light on the genesis of the suit, Uzoanakwe said, "We were initially forced to donate the lands to the state government during Okorocha's administration for the purpose of building the permanent site of Imo State University. But upon the completion of the school, Okorocha converted it to his personal entity and called it Eastern Palm University Ogboko. This was done without our consent or any form of compensation." Okorocha also declined to sign a memorandum of understanding regarding the lands, which belong to 5 different communities in our area. Also speaking at a press conference in Owerri, engineer Christian Okoli, that's OYA's Education Committee chairman, accused Rochas Okorocha of building the university with state resources, insisting that it should therefore belong to the people. Okoli said, "What we see in all of this is the wicked mechanism and wicked mechanization of a governor who, after building a school with public funds, deployed the instrument of state power to convert it to his private property. But this move will be vehemently resisted." It was gathered that Okorocha had built the university during his administration on the lands allegedly donated by his kinsmen in 2012. Now, this is really sad and it's getting very interesting. Don't forget that at the beginning of Emeka Ihedioha's tenure, Emeka Ihedioha, the one that left, had started recovering some of the property. And at some point, they had to create a disciplinary investigative panel to probe into some of the properties that was missing during the time of Rochas Okorocha's time. During that process of trying to investigate and recover some of those property, Rochas Okorocha actually came up and said all those properties are his personal property, that he was already a made man before he came into politics, so no one should start taking a hold of all his property. Now that's where this issue of declaring of assets comes in. If at that time, before he became the governor of Imo State, he had declared its asset, extra property, or so much property he must have amassed for himself, one would have known if that is his property or the ones that is state owned. Now, apart from the fact that the Imolites have been complaining, it was still during this time that we had what we call Ministry of Happiness, as in Department of Happiness, Entertainment of Happiness, and this was like Iberiberism. You begin to wonder, what is Iberiberism? begin to hear what is Department of or Ministry of Happiness. What happened to entertainment? Begin to create ministries upon ministries, probably to have some sort of leeway for whatever guys they want to do with the funds. As if that's not enough, he started building statues. He said it's a historical statues where some wonderful names were used to build, and those statues were in billions. And when asked, he will tell you that he wants a situation where history will be remembered. When you come to Imo State, you come and learn, see history, using billions to build. And Imo Light during that period, there was no much economic activities other than build these statues. And these are the things that made Emeka Ihedioha to build a panel of investigation. He started recovering some of those stuff, not until he was oystered. One would have expected that Hope Uzodinma, being an APC member and the card-carrying member too, as Emeka or as Okorocha, Rochas Okorocha, there will be some sort of understanding. And to his Roger's amazement, the panel was not dissolved, it was not annulled. The committee continued, of which he said, look, even if you probe me, I have no problem with probing me, but please change the people sitting in that panel. They are majorly opposition party based on his assertion, said that they will not be fair with him. Okay, but now the challenge now is this one, that the youth are coming up and saying that property that is originally, so are they saying that Imo State does not have Imo State University, or he has shifted Imo State University to another place? Can you imagine the name was given, changing? How visible really can you change a state-owned university to a privately owned university? Did he buy it out and there was no memorandum of understanding? And now they're insisting. I know for sure that Rochas Okorocha will definitely fight this out, because taking the whole of his school, that's heavy. And the fact that it was even changed, what were the legislature of Imo State doing as at then when they were changing such names? Yet there are lots to be answered here. And of course, as we are going through all this, Hope Uzodinma, the present governor of Imo State, has not responded, is looking on. But the suit is even ordering that he should take hold as the governor of Imo State. He should take charge of that property on behalf of Imo Light, on behalf of Imo State, and reinstate it back as the government school, or the government-owned school, owned by the government and not privately owned by Rochas Okorocha. Now the question is, if these are one of the things that we are looking at that some of our politicians have done, as in siphoned, then Nigeria is in trouble. If this is just one state and one property that is coming publicly, then Nigeria, honestly, we should start crying. As a nation, we should look inwards and begin to cry, because if we have such monies or such property going into the hands of individual, what is meant for a state is entering into the hands of individual, and we glamour that there is no money to pay salaries, no money to do this, no money, but it's in the hands of a very few, and we go borrowing. And after borrowing, our generations unborn are now slaves, economic slaves, even before they were born. That's really not fair. But that's where we're going to wrap it up. What's your take on the fact that the youth of Imo State have risen up and said, no more. We can't take this no more. What belongs to the state must return back to the state, even if it means filing a suit to reclaim back Imo State University back to Imo State. Let's interact in our comment section. What's your take? Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more updates on this and much more.